Hello guys, Dwago here with the video number 5 of the qualitative research. Actually, these are from video number 1 to video number 5 are actually the introductory videos or introductory material of a chapter. That chapter is from the book Qualitative Research from Start to Finish, and that was written by the Robert K. Jin. In the video number 1, we discussed about what the book offers on the introductory paragraphs of the first chapter, and about some practical perspectives like inductive approach and adaptive approach, the author's statement in the book. Then we discussed the APA definition of the qualitative research in the second video, and in that video we discussed the understanding of the qualitative research, the how factor, the game of the keywords, what, why and how studies, why the qualitative research is best, uniqueness of the qualitative research, the common practices in the qualitative research, the mosaic of the qualitative research, and multiple interpretation, the qualitative problem, the concepts of the qualitative research. In the third video, the thick description and researcher himself as a tool of the qualitative research and phenomenological studies. In the video number 4, we discussed the types of the qualitative studies or the variations of the qualitative studies. Those were action research, case study, ethnography, ethnomethodology studies, feminist research, grounded theory studies, life history or biographical study, narrative inquiry study, participant observer study, and phenomenological studies. And now here is the video number 5, and it is the last video of the first chapter of this book, and it as mediating strategies in the qualitative research. So mediating strategies, what are the mediating strategies? Now read it. I want to read it now. So to understand the mediating strategies, these terms must be understood. First one is epistemological location. The location from where you think philosophically about a certain point or problem statement of the research, and it may have the two positions. First is relativist, realist, or unique, not unique positions. Well, the relativist or unique thinkers think that the knowledge comes from the observation and experimentation. And the realist or not unique thinkers think that all the knowledge comes from the human mind, as all the big theories are made by the humans. So these are known as the epistemological extreme positions, where the relativist or the unique thinkers think that knowledge was already existing, and the realist or the not unique thinkers think that knowledge is made up, or knowledge is a phenomena of the human mind, that human mind is actually bringing all the knowledge to the world. Now the third term about this epistemological location is viable middle ground thinkers. So these thinkers think that the world existed with the knowledge before, and the human then organized that knowledge into the theories and laws by observation and experiment and research. So this was the first slide. Now moving to the next slide. Okay, so in the slide number 2, we are giving the examples of both epistemological locations. The first example is of the relativist or unique position, and that is intrinsic case study. Intrinsic case study, which states that a problem statement or a research may lead to some expected theory and also may lead to some unexpected insights about the theory, about the particular theory on the important topic of the study. And the realist or the not unique position thinkers, and the example of this type is instrumental case study, which states Our research may not only result in a theory about the topic of the study, but may also lead to the theoretical basis for some other topic which are present in the study as secondary and non-important topics or not important topics. Well, so simplifying both the examples of epistemological location, we can say that relativist or unique positions or intrinsic case studies only focus on one topic. If they choose a topic, then that's it, and they will stick to their topic. Like they think that the knowledge is from the nature, or knowledge is coming from the nature, so they will always think that the knowledge is coming from the nature. On the other hand, the realist or the unique positions thinkers, or as the example here is given as the instrumental case study, so they think that the knowledge is made by the humans, or what the humans think that this will be present in something, or the knowledge which will be present in something, and the humans think that it would be in that way. So those humans may organize the knowledge into their own categories, or into their own mental categories. So that's the real difference between these two epistemological locations. And remember, both are the extreme locations. So moving to the next slide. So in the previous slide, we have discussed the two positions that are the extreme positions of thinking, and now we are discussing a position which lies somewhere in between, or near to the mean position, and that is a viable middle ground thinking. So in the form of epistemological similarity, this viable middle ground thinking is found in the form of epistemological similarity that states either it's a relativist or unique position as intrinsic case study, or it's a realist or not unique position as instrumental case study. Both the studies are done to find a conclusion that supports one or more theories. How that conclusion supports one or more theories? That the viable middle ground thinkers think that the knowledge is existing in the nature, and also the human mind is organizing that knowledge by observation and by experimentation and by research and by qualitative research. So moving to the next slide. So this is the slide number 4, and we are going to discuss that how to create trustworthiness, credibility, and validity in the qualitative research. So there are 3 ways to establish the trustworthiness, credibility, and validity in the qualitative research, and those are: first is transparency, second is methodicness, and the third is empirical research. So moving to the next slide. So the first method of creating trustworthiness, credibility, and validity in qualitative research is transparency. So that states that do the research in a publicly accessible manner. The first thing is how to create the transparency is to do the research in the publicly accessible manner with a crystal clear research procedure, and the data should be available for inspection, or in case if the data is confidential, it must be mentioned clearly so the other people may review and understand your work. Second point is others may criticize your study or may give suggestions for refinement for your study, on the basis of enough data in your research discussion portion which supports or repels the result of your research study. Third point is, make sure that whatever the instruments you have used, they shall be mentioned clearly in the study with all the parametric and non-parametric properties. So this is how to create the transparency in the qualitative research, to create trustworthiness and validity in the qualitative research. Moving to the next slide. Okay, the next method to create worth and validity to your research is the methodicness. That states that methodicness means to minimize the whimsical or careless work by defining the research methodology crystal clear. So any unexplained bias eradication, sense of completeness, and cross-checking of the research may become real or possible anytime in your research study. And the second point is, a researcher must be present really, physically, cognitively, and emotionally during the research in the field work, which is also an important necessity of the experimental researchers too. The third point is, as the researcher is the instrument of the qualitative research himself, so he may describe all the recordings and the written responses of the participants clearly in the study results, and the results must be crystal clear with description of all the ideas, fears, mistakes, confusions, breakthroughs, and problems the researcher faced during the research study. And that's how to establish the methodicness in the study, on the qualitative study, to create a valid qualitative study. So moving to the next slide. To create trustworthiness and validity in your research, this is the last method, and the third method, known as the empirical or evidence-based research, that depends on the two things, that is the clear data collection and the clear data analysis. Well, eradicating the participants' bias by providing them a familiar language to answer, and with the cross-questioning in the interview. First, you provide the language, familiar language to the participants of the study, and then provide some questions which cross-question the statements of the participants of your study during your interview. And the other thing is that the crystal clear methodology, crystal clear write-up, and empirical evidence-based results in the discussion section, which may support or reject the results of the study. Both the cases means results supported or rejected are acceptable only when the evidence or the empirical research from the literature for both the cases is provided in the study by the researcher. So this is the third method of creating trustworthiness and validity in your qualitative research, and that is empirical research or evidence-based research. So guys, these were the 7 slides for today, and in these slides we have discussed the process of thinking in the qualitative research, and how to validate or how to get a trustworthiness in your research by using of the 3 methods, that is empirical research, methodicness, and transparency. So guys, I hope that this video will be of a great support for your qualitative researchers, and you'll get points and clear-cut points about how to write the study and how to get your study published. So I am Duago here, and this is my logo, and please watch my videos and subscribe my channel, and be a Duago. that like I am a Dwago, so you should also be a Dwago. So Dwago means once more I make you remember that Dwago means the one who prays. So be a Dwago, pray for all, pray for yourself, and pray for all. So thanks guys, and we meet with the next video that will be about the chapter 2 of this book, and the chapter 1 ends with this fifth video. This is the last video for the chapter 1 of this qualitative research start to finish book. Thanks guys, and take care, and be a Dwago.